Thank you for tuning in to the Guided Expressions podcast. My name is Martin Williams. For those of you who do not know me or this is your first time coming to the podcast, welcome. For those who have been here before, welcome back. And I would like to invite you to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, and on SoundCloud. You can also subscribe right here on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, listening to it on YouTube, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's the easiest way to subscribe to the podcast and get all the newest content as it is made available. Also, I would like to invite you to take the Blueprint course. By the time you hear this, the course will be live and available for all to participate in. You can take the course at your own pace. You can, take it all in one shot, or you can do as I would recommend, to take it a little bit at a time. However you take it, I think it will be tremendous for you. It will help you tremendously. It will really help you go to the next level, whatever that means for you. So I invite you to take advantage of that as well. Let's make sure I'm taking care of all the housekeeping things. There are also guided imagery audios that are available. You can go to my website, guidedexpressions.com, and check those out as well. Okay, got it out of the way. Wanted to talk a little bit today about a subject that I really like talking about a lot. I don't see a whole lot of material out there speaking about it, but it's something that I really want to talk more and more about because I think it's true and I think it helps a lot of people. And that is the concept of what we say and how what we say affects the world around us. I heard a message some years back from a preacher who is since deceased. He was a tremendous preacher, a tremendous pastor. He was someone who was really on his way to becoming the type of preacher that we see now in people like Stephen Furtick and T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen. He was on his way to becoming that person, and the man's name was Zachary Timms. Zachary Timms had given multiple sermons that I still go to this day. I think the man deceased. I want to say he deceased in 2012. I might be wrong on that, but it's been a good 4-5 years since he passed away, and I still go back to his sermons to this day. And one sermon in particular that I tried to get a hold of, and I wish I had bought it when I had the opportunity to buy it. It's one of those things where I know that it's a little kind of veering off the subject a little bit, but Nipsey Hussle, the rapper that passed away earlier this year, it seems like a lot of rappers, a lot of people collaborated with him before he died, and I think about that sometimes. How many times do we have an inkling to do something and then we don't do it and then it's too late? And what if the people that collaborated with him before he died, what if they had put it off and said, oh, I'll do it another time, and we'll just do it later. And it's just a message that nothing is promised, and nothing's promised to us. Nothing's guaranteed. So, yeah, a lot of the music that you're hearing posthumously from Nipsey Hussle was from people who collaborated with him before he was tragically murdered in front of his store. And if you put things off for too long, the opportunity leaves, the opportunity passes. So that was a little side trip. I'm going to get back to the original subject. The subject that he preached on was something called Everything Has Ears. And I didn't, Tim's preached on it. I didn't purchase it, as I just said, when I had the opportunity. And I tried like no tomorrow to track down that audio, and I couldn't. It's kind of gone. It seems like his family and the church has had some legal action back and forth about his intellectual property, and it seems as if they didn't release any of his sermons. So I don't know if his family has access to them or not. But anyway, I remembered some of the message, and what I've done, I've written a blog post about it, and I think I did a podcast about it a few years back, but I wanted to revisit it, and I wanted to revisit it in the framework of money. So he said that everything has ears, and he believed that every object on the planet, everything around us has ears, and what you say responds to what we have responds to what we say, basically. So let's say, for instance, you say that your knees are bad, right? And that's an easy thing for people to say. It's an easy thing for people to say, oh, I got bad knees, right? But if you keep saying that, your knees are going to hear that, and your knees are going to respond in kind, right? Your knees are going to say, oh, he said I got bad knees, so let me be bad. Or you might say, that your mind is not what it used to be, right? And of course, what usually happens when you say things like that, your mind becomes less of what it used to be. We really do prophesy our future, whether we want to admit it or not. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they just let anything come out of their mouth. They just say anything, and they have no filter on it. They just allow whatever is on their mind to just come out. And I always say that if you don't want it to be true in your life, don't say it. Because the Bible says that we have what we say, right? If you don't want to be broke, stop saying you're broke. Now, I don't, maybe you might say, well, you haven't seen my bank account. I don't need to see your bank account, okay? Because your bank account is a reflection of what you've been saying and doing over the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what have you. What I'm saying is, in order to stop the momentum, start saying something different, right? So the title of this audio is Money Has Ears, okay? What have you been saying about money in the last 30 days? What have you been saying about it? Have you been saying, oh, money's been really tight? Okay? Well, if you've been saying that, guess what? Money's going to be tight. And I've seen it happen, because even when you work hard and even when you do all the things you're supposed to do, money has a way of being tight. Money has a way of, not flowing the way that it should. How many times have you had a check delayed for no reason, right? For no good reason, anyway. How many times have you been due a payment, but that payment just didn't show up because, check got lost in the mail, the address got lost. It's always something, right? How many times have you been promised something, or even not even so much of a promise, there's a contract, and then the people didn't honor the contract, and so you were out of whatever money you were supposed to get. All of these things can happen, and there's really not a whole lot you can do about it on the front end, except check the way that you've been speaking about money. If you say things like money's tight, if you say things like, money's been real slow lately, if you say things like, I've been in a slump financially, if you say things like, I gotta like think of things because I really try my best not to talk negatively about finances because I know the consequences of it. Right? If you say anything negative about money, money will respond because money has ears, and money listens, and then money will act the way that you say it. See, money has no behavior outside of the people that use it, right? Money's just sitting there. Money is a servant. So, money responds in kind to how you speak to it and how you speak about it. If you say, my money's funny and my money's been real jacked up lately, how much, if someone says you've been jacked up lately, how excited would they be about hanging around you? Probably not very excited. Probably not very excited. If you say things like, my money is, been real crap, or, my money's been just not, it's just been bad. My money's just been real bad. That's the main thing that most people say. Most people say, "Oh man, my money's been bad lately," right? I'm telling you, it won't get better by you saying that. I promise you, right? How do you change the momentum? How do you turn that around? Well, it's very simple. Never speak negatively about money again. It's better not to speak about money at all than to speak negatively about it. But if you have to speak about it, and most of us do because of the world that we live in, the best thing to say is, oh, money's good. Money's coming in, and it's coming in, in waves that, ways that I can see and ways that I can't see, right? It's coming in, great amounts. I always have enough to do what I need to do, and then some. Like I always have more than enough to do what I need to do. Money's been real good. I always got enough, always got enough, always got enough. And you keep saying that. He's saying that over and over again. Say it, 50, 60, 70 times a day. And what will happen is, say if you have like a anchor money affirmation, something that is short to the point, but is positive around money. It's like, I always have enough money. I always have more than enough money for everything that I need and want to do, right? That's a really good affirmation. I always have more than enough money for everything that I need and want to do, right? So it covers everything. It covers your needs, covers your wants. And if you say that like 50 times a day, right? I guarantee that most people aren't doing this. But if you said that 50 times a day, over the course of a month, that means it's 1,500 times that you said that, right? What happens is that you condition your subconscious mind to produce scenarios in which you always have enough money to do what you want to do and what you need to do. This is really that simple. We have to program our minds to produce the type of abundance that we not only desire, but quite frankly need. If you want to do the things that you want to do and be able to meet your obligations, be able to, to pay your rent and to pay your taxes and to pay, your mortgage and put your kids in good schools and things like that, it takes money. It requires money. It requires money. And, there's no shortage of money out here. I promise you that. There's no shortage. There's more money in the system than there's ever been before. And, there's no shortage of it. So if the issue is there's a shortage in your life, it's not because there's a shortage in the system. It's because there's a shortage in your thinking. There's a short somewhere. And the shortage is in your thinking, your mindset. So you have to condition your mind to allow the type of finances that you truly have to have in your life in order to get the things done that you want to get done. And most people don't want to be a billionaire. Most people don't need to be a billionaire. You don't even need to be a millionaire to really live the way that you want to live in most cases. In most cases, most people would be very happy with, a couple $100,000, as long as all your debts are paid, you can live a really, really good life on a couple of $100,000 a year. So it's not, the problem is not so much, well, I just can't figure out how to get more money in. No, you're getting in. I'm going to say something here, and I want you to hear me. You're bringing in the maximum amount of money for the mindset that you have right now. Okay, the mindset that you have around money, you're bringing in the maximum of it right now. That is how much money you can bring in with your mindset. Now, if it's not a lot of money, then the problem is not, well, I just got to get more money. No, the problem is you got to fix your mind. You got to fix your mindset. You have to unconnect yourself, detach yourself from this idea of, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough resources, I can only make X amount of dollars a month, X amount of dollars a week. There's no limit to how much money you can make. There's no law that says you can only make so much money unless you are on some kind of a public assistance program. And even then, the law only dictates how much you can make while you're getting that assistance. So once you stop getting the assistance, then there's no limit on the amount of money you can make. You can make as much money as you want to make. That's the beauty of America, right? But this won't happen until you change your mindset. You change your mindset by reprogramming your mind, specifically reprogramming your subconscious mind and reprogramming it in a manner that is in line with the type of abundance that you want to live with and in for the rest of your life. And if you do that, it has to happen. You've heard it said that if you take a billionaire, you take his money away or her money away, they're going to get it all back. And they're going to get it back in a relatively short period of time. There are a lot of millionaires who have lost it all and got it back again. Why did they get it back again? Because they had the mindset. They had the right mindset. And when you have the right mindset, you'll get the money back. But most people don't have the right mindset. So even if you perchance get a lot of money, you won't keep it because you don't think correctly concerning money. So I'm gonna really unpack this money mindset thing because once the blueprint is finished and up for people to listen to, my next big project will be Abundance Now, and one of the biggest pieces of Abundance Now is really working hard on reshaping a person's mindset around money. I think when most people change their mindset around money, it just starts flowing in. Like all the stuff that you've been doing, all the stuff that you've been doing to get money or trying to get money, it just starts flowing when your mindset changes. But it has to change first. So that's really what I'm going to be working on pretty much for the rest of the year in this podcast. So, if it seems like heavy on money content, that's why. All right. So I hope you tune in for that. My name is Martin Williams. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. And don't forget to subscribe on all those platforms. If you're on YouTube, all of that is in the description box. Don't forget also to go to my website. You can check out my guided imagery audios. You can also check out my content, my other material, my blogs. All the podcasts are there. and you can sign up for the course, the Blueprint course. And there's some other courses, there's some other good stuff that's coming down the line. So make sure you bookmark the website and keep checking back and see what else is up there. But for now, thank you so much. Have a great day.